is a Superman. So Superman means what? There is no upper limit on his power. So he can apply any amount of force on the ground and he can run with very fast speed. Maximum fast speed he can run. But ground is having limitation. The ground can provide only up to this much friction, 0.9. So whatever force he applies, he will not be able to accelerate at infinite acceleration. See the example I can show you. You would have seen many of the cartoon movies. In those movies, you will see, suppose you see Tom and Jerry, and you will see that suppose Tom is there and some other character, suppose Jerry or some other character is coming, and they want to run suddenly. Then you will see that they try to run suddenly on the ground, but their feet will just slip on the ground and they will remain at their own place. Means they will remain at their own place and their feet will just slide at their own places. If the surface is smooth enough, means we can assume that the surface is smooth enough and the Tom or Jerry, they are trying to run on the surface, so their feet will just rotate at their own place and they will not move forward initially for some time. So that is happening. Why? Because when they are applying that force, the friction on the ground is not sufficiently high, and because of that their feet is slipping on the ground. Okay, so because of that they are not able to move forward. These things you would have also noticed if you have a pet in your home. If you have a dog or cat at a home, and if you want to play with ball, suppose you throw the ball on the ground, then those animals try to move on the ground, and since those animals have very large amount of strength, very large strength in comparison to their body mass, they try to apply very large force, and because of that they are not able to move. They are applying the force, but the friction provided by ground is not that much high. See, the ground surface, whatever we have at our home, that is made for the human fit. Means all these things are made according to the human being. So smoothness of the surface and all the things are according to us. But for animals, their legs are having a larger amount of their legs are having more strength, so they can apply more force, and the surface which are rough for us, that can be smooth for them, and they cannot apply sufficient force. They can apply by their leg, but they cannot apply that force on the ground. The ground is not sufficiently rough. Okay, so there is an upper limit on the friction force by the ground. So in this case, if you see, the person is Superman, so he can apply any amount of force. But when he will apply the force, he can maximum have the friction force is mu mg. This is the maximum friction force which he can have. He is on the horizontal surface, so mu will be the normal force, and this is actually from where? From mu into normal. So this is the maximum friction force. So acceleration will be friction by mass, and it will be in forward direction, because when a person is trying to run, he pushes the ground in backward direction and he gets the friction force in forward direction. So friction by mass will give the acceleration. So mu mg divided by m. So the maximum acceleration one can have on this surface is mu into g. Whatever force he applies, irrespective of that, the maximum friction, the maximum acceleration which one can have is mu g only. Now he has to cover 50-meter distance. So let us find this value. So mu is 0.9, g is 10, so that is 9 meter per second square. So how much time he will take? So we have to find the time taken. So for time, initial speed is 0, so we can use s equal to ut plus half it is formula. Okay, so initial speed we know that 0, s is what? S is 50, initial speed is 0, time is t, half, a is 9, and t square. So how much is t? The t is 100 by 9 under root, which is 10 by 3. So this is the time. So in this much time, the person will be able to cover 50 meters. Why this upper limit is there? Because of his maximum acceleration. Okay, now it says suppose he takes exactly this minimum time to complete 50 meters. What minimum time he will take to stop? So now we have to consider the stopping time. So stopping time, First, we will see how much velocity he has acquired. The velocity which he has acquired is v equal to u plus at. U is 0, a is 9, and t is 10 by 3. So that is 30 meter per second. So velocity the person acquires at the end of this time is 30 meter per second. Now he has to stop. So for second part, the same friction will act as deceleration. He cannot have the friction greater than this. So this will be the maximum deceleration acting on the person. So this time the acceleration will become deceleration. So minus f by m. So minus mu mg by m. So minus mu g. So that is minus 9 meter per second. So this is the maximum deceleration he can have. And again, we have to find the time. So we can use the time. The velocity, final velocity will be 0 in this case. So we can write v equal to u plus at. For second part, we can write dash. For all of them, we can write dash. Okay. So how much is u? U dash is the initial velocity for second part. That will be equal to the final velocity of the first part. So that is 30. Okay. So what we can write is final velocity is 0 and initial is 30. U is minus 9 and t. So how much is t? 30 by 9. 10 by 3 seconds. So again, it is taking same time. So whatever time he took to accelerate, the same time he will take to decelerate and stop. Okay, so in this way we can solve